The night could be fun. Check out that plastic scrap over there. The Surge Surf Factory. Keep your eye out for Wiz while you're here. Let's see. Everything seems moist. Wooz isn't easy on the tongue, but I think he says he's happy to see a friendly face. Not too many of those around these days. Says it's good to see you again. He's Wiz. You might remember him from the old days when he let you try his octopod? Wiz remembers you were such a cheery kid, and he's glad to see that light hasn't faded from you, despite the years. But Wiz understands it was a long time ago, and memories get murkier the deeper you go. But says it was a tragedy, but also sad that you chose to leave. It's a miracle you made it on the outside on your own. That land is harsh, they say. Wiz says our memory keeps things for us, preserves them until we are ready to face them again. He knows you've returned to face Lupa Lupin, and that confrontation is as inevitable as the tides. He's not surprised that the loss of your family could plunge you into the depths forever, but you've always been able to rise like a bubble to the surface, no matter what. He knows that though the tides of history may push you in one direction, you can always lay your own course. Ultimately, it's your choice. You were the one to be wronged and have lived with the consequences. He believes in consequence as it's a direct result of action. Asks if you ever think about freedom and whether any of us really has it. Did you make the decisions that brought you here, or are you just a pawn of fate? Glad to hear that. He only wishes he was that sure about himself. Amazed the world is going to continue on, but happy to hear it. Still so many things to invent. Impressed that you fought so hard to keep the world spinning. Thinks you were smart to join with the Myriad. They have a rainbow of ways to approach any problem. Thinks that kind of diversity brings strength. But that's not nearly as important as this. Wiz says that you should let the past dwell in the depths, but there's something else down there too, gnawing at the Tree of Life. He's named it the Merc Puff. This is why he's tinker-tonkering with the octopod. But the lid got stuck, so he needs a big enough tug twister to open it up and let you a-goin'. He can't leave the surge station, so you must help him find a tug twister. There's a wound-up mecha Fingro in the mecha stadium that still has one stuck on its back. Find it, and you'll find the tug twister. It's definitely made to lend a helping hand and do the heavy lifting. Toxanol records mention it as an automaton made for moving bionucleus matter into storage areas. Look at the notices on that board. No one paid much attention to them, it looks like. Wiz should be around here somewhere, probably taking care of his guppos. A surge surf factory was one of the cleaner ways to make power, until the surf turned into goo and clogged it all up, that is. The thicker the surf became with goo, the more the machinery clogged up and stopped working. Like most things from the bygone. There are sure to be more tracks around here, maybe by the shore. Toxanol's mining led to mass deforestation and increased global warming, as nature couldn't absorb the carbon dioxide and greenhouse gas emissions without the trees. These irreversible changes to the climate also contributed to the evolution and modified our genetic code. This story needs a hero. The day is dawning. Just what you were looking for. This won't be a field trip. It's the real thing. Old home. Could be something to it. Gangrene. What a blow! Bang Shelter 11E. Just the place to ride out a storm. You're maybe not sure you want to leave. It's a cold zone. Even a thick coat of fur is enough to keep you warm here. The world is awake. Nasty. A perfect fit. Now that's respectable. You found a bric-brac that's not absolutely flat. So much damage. Sick. Don't want to point a finger, but the Mecha Stadium is near here. It's almost like there's no color but green here. The right key could open this. Locked up tight. locked solid. You need to loosen the bolts without unsettling it. That's it. The tug twister's loose. Let's hope it turned the grabbing hand into a helping hand, too. This day is as good as it's going to get. You need to line up the switches so they match. Good. That's enough electric current to initiate the actuators and activate the framework. A pause place. Probably cleaned out, but you never know. Looks like some solid wood scrap there. You just found a fixer-upper. Wonder what finally broke it down.
He believed the tug twister would do the trick, but now realizes brute force won't do the trick. You need something slick. He agrees that it's an option if you want to break stuff, but in this case you want to keep things intact, so it won't leak once you get undersurf. He says the lid should open if you sprinkle grease it. Problem is, he's all out. He knows his old friend Choo Choo always keeps his grease sprinklers well filled. He should have an extra that you can borrow. He stresses that you should come back as soon as you've retrieved the grease sprinkler. The Merc Puff is crunching bark by the minute. Wiz heard he's currently stranded at the end of the line, so it should be easier to track him down now compared to when he's running rails.
This is way worse than moist. The moistest. See that e-waste? You could use that for sure. Whoa, that's some skronky metal scrap there. There's a lot on the line here. You're fading. Stinker! Knock it all around. Feel that sunshine. Much better. Hey, this... Nothing's simple. It's locked. Suppose even monsters have to sleep somewhere. You've reached the end of the line. Bet you can find Choo Choo here. Wheel the control box handles to buzz the wire. Wired up and ready to go.
Pasado conto pa.
You need to swivel the globus's bearings. You need to swivel the globus's bearings. You need to swivel the globus's bearings. Choo-Choo knew you would make it to him one day. All you had to do was follow the steel path. The rails might be getting rusty, but eventually they all converge on him. Claims rails are like rules. If you follow them the way you're supposed to, everything good in life can roll your way. Says you followed the rails to where you need to be, but tracks have switches in them too. The question is then, will you keep on the same track or look for a way to hit that switch? You seem like you're on the right track already. He just hopes you don't get sidetracked onto a darker path. Whichever way you go, he wants you to know that the rails never steer you wrong. Stick to them and they always bring you right to where you're meant to be. Wants to know if you've ever regretted taking one track in life instead of another. If you could go back, would you switch tracks or keep chugging along the one you're on? Thinks everyone has. No one's perfect every time. Seems like the world came out of its rut and is chugging toward higher ground again. Can't thank you enough for hitting the brakes and working to turn the world chug around. But let's not get derailed. Says he's surprised to see anyone this far out, but sometimes the wrong train does take you to the right station. As you can see, he didn't plan to make a stop here, but now that he had to, he's really happy to see you. He says his name is Choo-Choo. He's been off track since the world started dying, but he's trained his mind to stay positive regardless of the situation. Thinks that's fine, but there's no path in this world that's not been already made. He's convinced the tracks are like the paths our lives take, and you must deal with the outcome, even if you didn't lay them yourself. This time, though, he was sidetracked and needs a new wing nut to get back on track. Wing nuts are easy to find, as they're fitted on any in-front chugger-chugger out there. The challenge is taking them off, so he's happy you're here to do it for him. Says he knew you would, like he knows the way the rails run. Oh, e-waste, hard to find. That's a putty-upper plaza. Some were actually trying to build something before it all started to end. Give your mount a pat and pick a path. getting there. Savor this one. Don't lose your way in the blackness. The vendor says you can browse his goods anytime during opening. Says you're in good company. Everyone needs a good deal. A good deal all around. The Wingnut Chug Tunnel. It goes on forever. How far does this underplace go on? There's a serenity about this spot. It's a place for rest and recovery, when day can become night. Don't get distracted by all the destruction you can see this time of day. Looks valuable. No time to graze, let's go. incoming terminal. Misery. Seems like your mount likes you well enough. Let's see. Choo-Choo says he knew you'd come through. If someone makes a stop at your station, it's for a good reason. But he understands no one gets their tracks greased for free. He'd be happy to part with his spare grease sprinkler, as he believes it's a great fit for any of your business that needs to be unstuck. He keeps it safe in a box on the handcart, in case of emergency. It's on the cart. He wants to keep it close by. In general, you won't have much time to act in case of an emergency. Choo-Choo says you should help yourself to the grease sprinkler. It's a versatile tool from the bygone, a last of its kind, so don't let it go to waste. He's convinced you'll put it to good use, as there are lots of stuckies out there that need greasing to open. Seems glad you think so. You're on the right rail. Choo-Choo says he can't wait to get out of this place. Says talking to you was interesting. You shouldn't worry about smashing up the box. Choo-Choo has no use for it now. Choo-Choo says he feels strongly about helping his next, just like you did for him. He's convinced there was a bigger reason you met. Sometimes the wrong train will take you to the right place. He believes you've got what it takes to make a difference. He's witnessed it himself. Figures everyone chooses their own path. The longer you ride the rails, though, the easier it is to travel with friends. Choo-Choo says he's ready to pack up and leave. Wishes you goodbye. That's Punchy's place up in that little blimp. No better upgrade bench around. Let's see. Lots of things start moving around toward the end of the day. Every little bit helps. Just the kind of scrap you need. Wiz says that there's no plan to confront the Merkpuff until the octopod is properly armed. He's happy to tell you that the cannon he's been working on now just needs ammunition. He says his old friend Boom makes all things that go bang. There's a rumor that some of Boom's pyro sticks shot off and are out there roaming free. You should keep an eye on the horizon for pyros. If you're fast, you have a shot at catching some of them before they go off. Boom has named the place Puff Duff Bluff. It sounds silly, but it's an accurate description considering most of the pyros are duds, seeing as they're as old as the old world. It's time to do what's right, for certain values of right. Don't know what that e-waste was. Grit. Knock it downtown. Crush Lust. Goo. Heroes make for the best stories. It's up to you if you want to be one.
better days. Rancid. Wow, wow. Try to be friends with the beast. That there is a fume foundry, where toxanol processed go juice. Breaking bones. You can't really understand your story till it's done. That's a bang plant, where toxanol used to make all sorts of splody things before it blew up in their faces. That's some sharp wood scrap there. Watch for splinters. A classic.
That looks like an unbanged pyro stick on the loose. Better catch it before it goes off. That's a good find. Everything is at stake. The pyro sticks will cause a bang, but targeting is on you. At least now you have a chance to hurt the Merc Puff where it counts. He hopes so, as there's no plan B, or more correctly, plan C. Out of Date has named this Plan B. Plan A was to take on the World Eaters by foot, or flaps in this case. Turns out swimming down there was a bad idea. Wiz has been working on another cannon, but instead of pyro sticks, it squirts guppos, scaly distractions for anyone with an appetite disorder, and irresistible for the Merc Puff in particular. Seems the best way to find guppos is go talk to Gil. He has a natural sonar and knows where the guppos sub the surf. This means you'll have to go visit Gil at Burblebottom. Find Gil and he'll be able to tell you where to find the guppos. Guppos are lively beings, and they're fast too. They're here, there and everywhere. Or at least they used to be. Nothing's more important right now than this.